biggest advice that I would give, especially what's happening currently in our current economy, is the ability to listen and appreciate each other's diversity.
From Ranjay's couch in Charlotte, North Carolina to your couch, somewhere in the world, this is the weekly Midday with Ranjay, the afternoon show, with your host, Ranjay Sarna.
Thank you for stopping by. Hello, welcome, and namaste to yet another episode of Midday with Ranjay, a show where we meet the person behind the professional that they are and try to understand about some of their viewpoints that you, I, and people at large are grappling with. In the process, have some fun as well. My guest for this afternoon is a dear friend of mine and a fellow HR professional, Miss Michelle Tucker. Michelle is currently the Senior Employee Relation Manager at Advent Health, the second largest employer in Central Florida, next to Disney. Prior to joining Advent Health, she served as the Vice President HR for a local technology company here in Charlotte, formerly known as Map Anything, today Salesforce Maps. An immigrant from Jamaica, Michelle Tucker migrated to South Florida in the year 2000. She attended Florida International University, where she earned a bachelor in hospitality and restaurant management. She later went on to Nova Southeastern University, where she earned a master's in human resource management. An avid traveler, Michelle is passionate about different cultures and different cuisines. In her spare time, you can find her at her restaurant, Mama's Caribbean Grill and Bar, or decorating a family or a friend member home. Michelle and I also share a couple of other similarities. What are those similarities? We can figure that out once we meet her. Let's welcome Michelle Tucker. Michelle, hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Ranjay. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? How has your day been going so far?
Well, today, of course, it's a sunny day, so I'm grateful to be here. It's just a wonderful day. We got a cool weather this morning, so I'm excited about the day. Everything is
Awesome.
going well.
Great. Well, Michelle, I was reading your introduction, and I think the viewers need to understand that there are lots of similarities between you and me. Starting with that both of us migrated to United States of America, even though you migrated 16 years before me, and the love for the game of cricket.
Preface by saying that our the West Indies is much better than your team, so we don't want to discuss cricket today, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I would like to beg to differ on that. Maybe the West Indies team of the 70s and the 80s, but probably not today. And that is something that we can talk offline and we can talk at length. But today, it's all about you. And the show is to know the person behind the professional that you are. We all know how great professional you are, but we really want to understand about some of your viewpoints, about your thoughts, about some of the issues that people at large are facing today. And that takes me to my first segment of this midday show with Ranjay is what I like to call how I got where I'm at. In this segment, we'd like to understand how did you start your journey and how has your journey been so far?
Yeah. Well, first, I want to thank you, Ranjay, for giving me this opportunity and this platform to talk about just my career path, but also hopefully that we'll be able to provide some additional details or context so others can learn from our journey to this United States. Of course, as an immigrant, I came here in 2000. And I started out prior to joining here my career in the HR field. And when I came to the United States back in 2000, I was certainly committed in continuing on that path. But I started not in the HR field, but I got a job in the hospitality field, which actually my undergrad is in, and we can talk more about that. But I started in the hotel business in the meeting and convention department. With my commitment of really pursuing a career back into the HR field, I volunteered while working at the Fontainebleau Hilton. I volunteered with them, and certainly, especially with HR functions, and got to where I later, to date, of course, I served as a senior manager for a hospital in the Florida area, Central Florida area, as their employee relations manager. And so I'm really happy with the journey that I've had to date.
Wonderful. What a great journey. Great start to that, Michelle. Well, Michelle, my second segment is what I like to call the three questions to Michelle. And my first question, Michelle, would be what do you wish you had known when you started out?
Well, at the HR field, as you know, and I will refer back to a survey that was done maybe about 10 years ago about HR by Forbes magazine. And they rated HR as one of the top 10 stressful jobs there is. And so if I knew that, I would certainly say, well, maybe I wouldn't have gone into HR because it's so multifaceted. There's so many different hats that HR wear today that is so important to the development of individuals within the workplace. But even outside of the workplace, HR does get involved too. And so maybe someone had said to me, oh, well, HR is that dynamic and diverse. I might have reconsidered the career and maybe gone into engineering where I'm more focused. So, but having said that, I'm really pleased with the impact based on my career path that I've been able to make towards the development of individuals in their career path as well. And also not just that, but in their just general life. And so I really value what I do as an HR professional.
Great answer. Well, that's an interesting report. I didn't know about that. Well, my second question, Michelle, is are there any resources that have really helped you on your journey?
There are several resources that I was critical to my journey and the success to date. Coming here as an immigrant, certainly you understand that there are changes and nuances that we have to learn once you get here. And I think the biggest impact for me was to identify a mentor, someone that will have the subject matter expert knowledge and just understand the business in general and how to navigate around that. And I think that just having dialogue with them on a monthly basis really helped to steer into that direction where I was able to really continue on that path and the journey towards my career goals and objectives. And also, again, giving me guidance as I go along in terms of what to course correct and what I can use in order to be successful.
Well, my last question, Michelle, would be what are the biggest challenges that you see that employers are facing today?
Well, if you asked me this question maybe 2 years ago, I should say to you, these are in fact the challenges that HR, because they're pretty standard, year over year. But with the pandemic, I think we have seen a big shift in what HR has to focus on. And I can think of three things top of the mind for me that I think HR needs to be aware of. And one is the fact learning to the integration of working from home, working in a remote workforce. And that is something, a huge difference in what HR was accustomed to where we were on site for most industries. So learning how to navigate around that is certainly going to be a big challenge and helping managers to manage a workforce that is remote. I think though the component of it, which is very important, I think for me is the most important thing is how does HR help to balance the mental state of employees? There's so many data out there right now where we've seen an increase in employees that are having this mental challenges, just managing what is happening in the economy versus their workload. And that's really posing a problem on challenge for HR to deal with and find the right balance in how to help employees to be successful in that. And thirdly, just the fact that we have to be adaptable to the various changes that are happening. With this pandemic, it's certainly learned has teach us how to be resilient and certainly be diverse in our thoughts. And I think just being prepared for anything that can happen in the future like this is going to be a key part of our strategic plan moving forward.
Wow, great answer. And especially, when you are heading the employee engagement function, it's such a Herculean task to keep the people motivated. And well, those were my three questions, Michelle. And I think you just, as per the cricketing terms, you knocked them out of the park. Great answers. Uh, my final round, Michelle, which is the rapid fire. And I love this round because I can put the spotlight on you. There are no right answers, no wrong answers, whatever that comes to your mind. And this is the place where you don't have to be politically correct. Answer whatever you think you can. So are you ready, Michelle?
I am.
So again, using a cricketing term, which the West Indian fast bowler made it very famous. My first bouncer to you If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to and why?
Hmm, great question. I'm going to say the 1920s.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because I remember my mom used to tell me about the 20s. She's not born in 20s, but she used to tell me about fashion in the 20s. And so she'll show me some pictures of a really nice outfit that I really like, clothing. And so I think I like that era, of course. The 20s, I say, because of its fashion.
Well, you just hit that again for a six. My next question: would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals?
That's an easy one for me. A language. I think that would be my second choice of communication. I actually wanted to be a linguist. If I did not become an HR professional, I would be a linguist.
All right, interesting answer. My third question: if you were stranded on a tropical island, what two things would you want with you? Just two things.
Two things. Wow. I would like to have something to read.
Okay.
So I'm going to say the Bible, maybe,
Okay.
a thing to keep motivated. And the second thing I would like to have, can I choose a person?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I'd like to have my daughter with me.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I know for a fact that one of those two things will be a satellite phone. So when I'm bored of that island, I need somebody to rescue me. All right. My fourth question: Michelle, what's your rule number one?
Rule number one, be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Great
I
answer.
think that everyone, if kindness goes a long way. If we could be kind to each other, I think this world would certainly be a better place. So I think kindness is my number one
That's a,
rule.
that's an amazing answer, Michelle. Those were my questions, and as I said, you just knocked it out of the park, and you scored a century there. So thank you so much, Michelle, for taking out time. I know it's a busy schedule, but I'm so thrilled and excited that you accepted my invitation and shared your life journey here with us. Now, if there's one piece of advice that you want to share it with viewers who are watching you in America, in India, and across the world, what would that one piece of advice?
I think the biggest advice that I would give, especially what's happening currently in our current economy, is the ability to listen and appreciate each other's diversity.
Well, on that positive note, Michelle, I once again thank you so much, and hopefully, I'll meet you very soon.
All right, thanks for having me, and please come down and see me at the restaurant.
Absolutely, I will. All right,
Oh,
Michelle, thank you.
okay.
What a great personality she is, and what great answers. Be kind is the new buzzword. To meet yet another interesting guest, join me next Wednesday at 1 p.m. on Midday with Ranjay. I look forward to your feedback and suggestions. Until then, stay safe, stay smart, have a great rest of the day.